Hi, Mary Faye. Here's the man. Check it out. Yeah. Here's Tom. Hey, David. Marcus. Mary Page. Paul C. Oh, Mary Kate. We'll have to show your mug. Do it, Arcus. Do it. Oh.
Fight back. Fight back. Stay away from the... Oh, God damn it. What are you doing? Just calm down. I'm sorry I prodded you. She seems to be healing. Her bulb seems to be healing as well. Not because I just put her in here, but just because of anyway. Come on, you. Love you, darling. I'm talking to you now, see? Love you, darling. Bye.
Be there, it'll focus. How that one kind of looks really dark, kind of purplish looking. And you can see this one over here on the log too, it looks kind of purple. She's just a real deep, deep red. And throughout the day when the light's on, they get more red looking. But I don't know if it's because it's dark and they go, their genetics being what they are. I know they can kind of adjust their color a bit. But somebody was asking about a purple shrimp, and I just noticed that with mine. And I would still like to know what kind of moss that is. Anyways, I noticed them looking kind of purple, and I believe that's what it is. Not 100% sure, but anyways, wanted to update.
Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. How's everybody? I had to come back. I had to go off and come back on. It dropped my audio and video both. We'll get back and finish up that video. It's a long video. It's about 10 minutes, but just utterly wonderful, and one I know we all thoroughly enjoy. I know I do. Delighted to see everybody here this morning. Good to have you all stop by and hang out for a while. Let's see. I want to get down to the music so I can bring it back up. Right there.
Mary, try and
All right.
Let's talk about fish, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about fish. Let's talk about fish, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that can be. Let's talk about fish. Fish. Let's talk about fish. Let's talk about fish. Instrumental break.
David Piper's all excited. Yeah!
Let's talk about fish, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about fish. Let's talk about fish. 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 Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about fish. Let's talk about fish. Fish.
Yeah, well, good morning,
I've been that one all day.
Thank you, Lee. Oh, glory. Well, it's a wonderful day. It's finally not cloudy out. Today, let's look at the Florida sky. A blue sky with aquarium written in it. See that? It says aquarium. That's my glow. That pretty blue sky right above my open sign. Here we go. See across the street. It's my giant lizard on top of my giant fish tank. I need to put something in that tank out there. We put it outside because it leaks. But if it leaks outside, it's okay. So we need to fill it and put something in it. Maybe a goldfish or something. I don't know. Something. All right. Leah's here. Hi, Lee. I love it. I love it. Absolutely. Good morning, all. Mary Page, Dirty Platty, Arcus. Santana, Willie Santana from Oregon. Hi there, Willie. Nice to see you. Let's see if we can get a link up here. Copy, paste. Like so. There we go. Anybody who wants to come up is welcome. Welcome to do so. Who else is here? Fish and Chips is here. Mary Page. Arcus. Hail, hail. David Piper. It goes on and on. Pat Polson. All the way back to Roman Chirac, who was numero uno, the first one here this morning. Arcus. Paul C. Yes, cool video. You bet. Mary Page. It's been 3 weeks since she's seen her fish. And gonna be another few days at least. So she got a picture, you got a picture, and they look okay. Water level's down a bit, a little murky. Well, yes, pretty is there. I saw that. Patrick Paulson is busy today. Nice to have you drop by, Patrick. Oh, jump on down here. Good morning, One Dirty Platty. David Piper, good morning. What do you have in mind putting in it? What are we talking about? When I make my song, Oh, Mary Sang, I'm going to have you in the beginning of mine. Lee. That'll be my opening. That'll be cool. I'm excited about it, Mary Page. Looking forward to it. That will be great fun. And Willie Santana's with us for the first time, I guess. Nice to see you, Willie. Good to have you here. Flo Aquatics. Hi, Flo. Mary Page is off to get coffee. Oh, you're going ginseng hunting. Oh, cool. That's something I've wanted to do. Oh, wow. Gonna get some Kentucky ginseng and go out and get some West Virginia ginseng. You got ginseng in Virginia, too. Oh, that'll be great fun. Let's see. What is the... Yeah, it's right in the middle. Right in the middle of the season. How cool. Pay for your trip back. What are you thinking about putting in the tank? Well, I don't know. I don't know what to put in it. Maybe I could put a big pacu in it. That would be dramatic. You could see that from the road, except it probably would die. I don't think it would survive. I don't know what to put in it. Something that'll show I guess I need to get water in it first, and then go from there. Figure out, it's the likelihood is it will get abused by people walking by in one way or another. So it's likely to be a death sentence putting a fish out there. We'll have to give it some consideration. I don't know what to do with it quite. Oh, Mary Page says the coffee tastes better in the mug. Yes, for your mug. Here we go. Father Fish mug. I'll hold it with my left hand. We can see it better. Father Fish mug. I just got a new order in. We got a box full of them. Only one so far is sold out of the box of 10. You can get your own Father Fish mug, complete with Tom the Cat, for a mere $25, shipping included. We're just doing this as a gift, basically. Well, it's not a gift. It's a how shall I call it? We're doing it at cost. We're not making anything on these, but want people to be able to have them. Send $25 to PayPal, Fatherfish at fatherfish.net. Fatherfish at fatherfish.net on PayPal. Add your address and a little note, and we will be delighted to ship you out your very own Father Fish mug coffee mug. And we should look at Mary Page's coffee mug opening. That would be fun. Let's see if I can. I'm going to scoot over to that and see if I can get it up. See if I can find it and look at it. And we'll get it up here. Mary Page. Mary Page Flynn. Well, it's not here. Mary Page, what did you do with it? You don't have it up. It's not here. No. You need to post it. It's not posted. Turtle stuff and a day at the creek. Can't find it. Do you have another channel maybe? I don't know where it is. Oh, still downloading or uploading. Well, that could be. It's still uploading probably. It can take a while. Okay, we're going to get a design to check out for t-shirts and a new mug this weekend. And one dirty flatty got his mug. All right. Nice job. David Piper enjoying his coffee this morning. Anthony T. Hello, Anthony. Good to see you. I had a thought. Best part of waking up is coffee in the Father Fish mug. There you go, Mary. Couldn't agree more. Absolutely. Oh, glory. Oh. Get my eyes working here. That seems to be the problem in the morning. David Piper, Willie Santana. Started 7 thirded tanks. All right. Go, Willie. You go, Willie. You're ahead of the curve here. And tell us how they're doing. As a matter of fact, Willie Santana, if you would like to come up and show us your 7 thirded tanks, we would be thrilled and delighted to see them. If you can manage to do that, you can do it on your phone or whatever device you're watching us on. So long as you got a camera, microphone's good if you got it. At least a camera. Not everybody does. If you can do that, we would be thrilled and delighted to have you, Willie. All right, moving on down. Oh, here we go. One Dirty Platty has a $4 super sticker. Thank you so much, One Dirty Platty. That's very nice. That's a big deal coming so early in the stream. I do appreciate it so very, very much. Anna Willie Santana saying, oh, Secret History is here. Good morning. How are you this morning? Alex. Hillbilly Nomad. Hi, Hillbilly. Good morning. Good to see you. I missed a bunch here. Got to go back and pick it up. Anna Marie from Salem, Oregon. Good morning, Anna Marie. Nice to have you here. And Roxanne is here. Hi, Roxanne. Foxy's Fishes. Good morning. Good morning. Let's see. I think I got back. David Piper. Yes. Coming on down. Whoa, Coupling Creek. Let's see. Yep. Yes, Roxanne, how you doing? Hoping you're better. Cation Swartz. Good morning, Cation Swartz. Jughead Jones. Good morning, Jughead Jones. I guess it's the Saturday crowd. We got people who have to work during the week. Can't plug in. Nice to have you, a bunch of new people today. Great fun. Good to have you with us. See who else is here. Lee Wilcox is here. And Secret History says ribs are still sore. Haven't gone to bed yet, but you're keeping my mind off it. Oh dear. Alex fell down and broke a rib, or a couple of ribs. Has been struggling through for the last few days. Let's see. Mary Page says, I love everybody's names. Secret History. We joined Father Fish today. Maybe you could talk about your last two videos. They were really good. They're all good. Absolutely. Love to have Alex up if you're up to it. Roxanne says, I'm not keeping up yet. Eyes still closed. No coffee yet. Love you all, though. Love you too, Roxy. These fishes. Mary Page. Oh, Alex is saying, I don't want to steal the show. Love learning from you. But if I can help, I'm happy to. Well, we'll be happy to have you jump in here. We don't have any content going yet, so that would actually be helpful to get us kind of focused on something worth talking about here, fish-wise. Somebody making coffee. Anthony T. making coffee. Wonderful. Hungary. Machine is from Hungary. Good morning, Machine. Good to have you with us. What city in Hungary? Lee wants to know. Yeah, it's a nasty pain, Willie, isn't it? I've broken a few ribs too. It's an easy one to break. You know, I did want to say something that kind of came to me last night, and this is really a perfect. Hi, Nathan Billyberger. Good to see you. Nice to have you with us. right at the beginning, it's really kind of a perfect time to say it. I got up about 4 this morning and just stayed up for an hour. So thank you again, One Dirty Platty. Appreciate your super sticker. And I was just kind of bopping around looking at things. Willie Santana and hi Joanna realized something. I was listening to Aquatic's new video, which will play at the 9 o'clock hour, and then going back and reviewing uh, the chat from yesterday, and it struck me these are the great days. We need not look to the future to find the great days, the wonder days, the days of joy, the days of excitement and great fun, the days when we celebrate what we are about, the days when we get up and excited and we look forward to what we're doing. These are the great days. Now, I don't know that these are the very best days we will ever have, but these are the best days we are having now. We are in the best of times. These are the best of times. What we're doing and what we're about right now is the very best of times. Lee Wilcox is talking to Machine. It says, Hungary is a beautiful country. The people are amazing. I spent a few months there many years ago. Budapest is an incredible city with such history and architecture. Secret History's talking about his broken ribs. He says it's a bad pain. I've had kidney stones, which is worse, and a broken spine. Whoa. And broken a collarbone was up there too, but it is just relentless rather than so intense. That's the problem. When you feel it every time you take a breath, and it's hard not to take a breath. Oh, glory. Well, we're praying for the pain to recede and the joy to return. Joanna says, don't forget to hit the like button. You bet. Let's see. I want to jump over here to YouTube and see what's cooking. Anthony T just got a new 29 and happy to get another dirted tank setup. Good job. Nathan Bellenberger. Hello, Nathan. Welcome back. I think you're due, Nathan. Nathan has earned himself a wrench. Oh, let's see. Cation Swartz, good morning to you. Good to have you with us. All right. Let's scroll to the bottom here. Psychedelic Hippocampus is back. Welcome to see you. Haven't been here in a while. Good to have you back. talking about something got Ray Aquatics. Hi, Ray. Good morning to you. I don't see the comment. Here it is. My school of Corys attacked and killed one of my biggest Corys yesterday. Why would they do that? I think I am in agreement with whoever made the comment down below that it is unlikely that they actually attacked it and killed it. It is 100% likely that they ate it when it died. Because that's what everything does. When something dies in a tank, everything eats it. I had a woman call me yesterday, and she said she has salt water, and I sold her a sea urchin. She said, my sea urchin killed my fish. It has it pressed up against the wall, and it's eating it. And I actually had to think about that for a second. And realized, of course, that sea urchin, to my knowledge, has no ability to kill a fish. I mean, they can't poke it because it can't move quickly enough. Any fish that doesn't get out of the way and lets it crawl on it is probably dead. And that is likely exactly what she found, was a fish that had died and was being consumed by an inhabitant of the tank. Anytime something dies in your tank, everything else that's in there that's alive will eat it, will eat on it, will take a bite out of it. It is fair game at that point. And food. One Dirty Platty said that. Yeah, I'm with you, One Dirty Platty. I agree. Nathan Ballenberger says, can't wait to put mine up. I've got a 55-gallon and one potting soil bag away. Ah, that's great. Good job. Lee says, Sue is shouting from the kitchen, Father Fish is beautiful. Well, Sue is beautiful. Went to get the link and erased my clipboard, Mary says. Oh, well. One Dirty Platty says, I refuse to change my name. Well, I think it has a character on all its own, One Dirty Platty. And it's not objectionable. It's just strange. And strange is good. Strange is not a bad thing. You think that's strange? Father Fish, that's strange. And to not only use that, but to answer to it. And I do it every day. If somebody doesn't call me Father Fish, they call me by my real name, and I usually ignore it. It's been going on so long. I am Father Fish. That's my name. And I tell people that. They come in the store, they say, what's your name? And I say, Father Fish. And they say, no, your real name. And I say, Father Fish. And they say, is that your real name, Father Fish? Right, Father Fish. There you go. So, yeah, don't change it. Don't change it. Who else is here? What's going on? Secret history. Every day we get up is a great day. Yeah, I think I mean a little more than that, Alex. I mean, it is, you're right. But I've noticed of late, and Mary Page kind of leads this all because she she is she is such a cheerleader, um, and is always talking about we're going to make it big, we're going to this that whatever. We already are, and that's what really hit me. I mean, having people like you, like Mary Page, like Lee, like I'm going to forget somebody, like Cassie B, like Roxanne, like everybody, like Aquatics, like everybody who is here, everybody who is excited about participating, everybody who is joining in this thing and making contributions to it. Those are the best days ever. Those are the days when we've got that new joy, that excitement, that great fun, that celebratory spirit. These are the great days, and we're in them, right in the middle of them, and need to be celebrating it. Need to feel it and know it and take great joy in it. Let's see. Good morning. Mary Page says, good morning to everybody out there lurking. We love you. Hope you enjoy the stream. You betcha. Absolutely. Machine is talking back to Lee about Budapest. Oh, I really need to go to Europe before it's all over. I really do. I need to visit Lee. I need to go to Portsmouth. I need to go to France and Germany, Budapest, maybe even Russia. Who knows? Need to go to Italy. I need to. I probably never will. I had a trip once. I was invited to go to Rome, and my then wife was 8 months pregnant. Ah, so I sent my sister and my mother, and they had a wonderful time. And it was a great trip for them. And we stayed home and waited for my one and only daughter, who is now the pride of my life and the bane of my existence. But the pride of my life. She is a joy, Amelia. We named her Amy after her great grandmother. And by the time she was 10, she decided Amy was too old fashioned. So she began referring to herself as Amelia. So she is Amelia. I would not call her pretentious, however. More kind of forceful, hard nosed, very direct, and very serious minded woman who also loves great joy. A good girl. A very, very good girl. Yeah, right. Let me jump back over to StreamYard and see where we are. See if anybody has come up. No one has come up. Let's post the link again. See if we can get a little Mary Page saying, I can't wait for my daughter to meet your daughter. Yeah, they both are in the same field, and I think are uniquely equipped to reinforce each other. And it's a critical field. Something that is in just increasingly important. They work with brain injured and autistic children. Mary Page talking to Kaysen about all the beautiful new plants. Too true. Kaysen says, high tech is neat. You can externalize a lot of equipment and experiment and keep in balance various parameters. I won't say it'll be easy, but it'll keep you on your feet. Yeah, true enough. I'm just not good with it. I'm not good with tech. Yeah, and I've tried to be. I mean, from the time I was in my mid 30s, I tried to be tech conscious and to work with tech, and I'm just not good at it. Let's see. What in the world? Talking about women's work here. Mary Sue shouting right back at you. We have a hatch from the kitchen to the living room. I have seen that when you shoot pictures of the 55, you shoot right through into the kitchen. And I've seen Sue in the kitchen. Right. Yeah. You've never not been in big trouble, Lee. You're always in big trouble. It's what makes you so lovable. One Dirty Platty posted the Facebook group. That's fun group. Jump on and take a look. Machine says, I love this channel because I understand what Father Fish is saying. He speaks slowly and it's good for me. Most Americans speak quickly and I don't understand. That's really interesting, Machine. I appreciate that. I had a video. A young man said, Father Fish, I play your videos at 1.50. I played him at 1.50, and it's a Mickey Mouse kind of voice. I played him at 1.25. 1.25 is pretty good. It does not distort the voice. It moves it along a little better. Cuts about whatever that is, 25% off the time. And it's pretty good. My response to him was, I just wish I could think at 1.50. That's why I talk slowly, because I have to think about what I'm saying. And I do. I think about what I'm saying, and I think about it before I say it. And I think about it, I go slow enough so that I can make a determination as to whether or not I want to say it. So typically, when I say something, it's deliberate. I say what I mean, and I mean what I say. Like that. Got it? Oh. Hat Trick Farm. Good morning, Hat Trick Farm. Marky 0306. Hi there, Marky. Yeah, Lee likes One Dirty Platty's name. I think we all do. I do. I thought it was unique when I first saw it. No need to change. There are those who need to change. One Dirty Platty, but you're not among them. You're not among them. Oh, glory. Who else is here? Somebody just came up. There he is. Hey, boys and girls. Guess who's come to visit? Ta-da! Hi
Hey
there.
there.
Nice to see you.
How's it going?
Good. You're smiling.
I'm smiling.
Good for you. Keep smiling. You smile through the pain.
Yeah. You know, after a while, every day really is a good day. I agree with you that these are some good times, but it's just every day is a good day when you've been through hard times, you know, you realize that
Yeah,
you'll get over little things like physical pain.
right. I tell you, I adopted the philosophy some years ago that until you are in some very real way broken, you really don't know much about life.
Agreed. Yeah. So, what do we want to talk about this morning?
Well, I don't know. Mary Page said you had a couple of new videos, and that in one of them you were talking about the effect of the fires on the hobby, and that's it. That sounded kind of interesting. What's your
Yeah.
take on that?
Well, my take is that actually there was a new article this morning since I even published the video, and it was talking about the Pantanal down in Brazil.
Yeah,
And can you guys hear me okay?
yeah, perfect.
Okay. Okay. And they were talking about how a lot of, jaguars and deer and all sorts of like large apex animals were dying of thirst because the water had become caustic from all the ash.
Huh.
And so it was killing fish too, obviously. But uh, basically, I mean, we need fire. It renews everything. But the fires that we're seeing now in areas that have seen clear cutting or that are started with gasoline and things like they'll use thermite and gasoline, but they'll use really hot burning things to start the fire, and it'll actually burn the earth below in the rainforests. It burns underground too for sometimes like several years, and it smolders. But because of that, it's not the same kind of fire that you'd get naturally from lightning or something, because those fires would quickly burn through the underbrush and produce enough, various elements that we need, like carbon and phosphorus and nitrogen, all sorts of things that go up into the atmosphere or come down as ash or charcoal, things like that. And now, though, with some of these fires, like in California and things too, in America, in the States, you see hillsides and things losing their integrity, and so you see mudslides and things like that. And we've seen in Washington State, there was some studies done about salmon, and the year of a fire, the salmon population was decimated almost 80% on the Yakima River. But after that, the following 5 years were the best years they'd seen in 40 years, because I guess it made enough algae nutrients for the baby fry to grow really fast and really strong. So that extra nutrients in the water really helped. It's hard for the ecosystem to withstand the hot fires that are artificially burning, so to speak, when we leave a lot of underbrush and don't let small fires burn annually like they would from lightning naturally.
Yeah, that's exactly right. In Florida, they finally, after years of bad forestry practices, for the last 20 years or so, they've adopted the policy of regular annual burns, which burns out all the low undergrowth and does not damage trees and does not damage the soil. If the fire moves very quickly, it's there and gone. It's burning grass and weeds, low brush, um, does not build up the heat that a deep brush fire will. If the policy that has caused a lot of this is one that has 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 been a policy to put out every fire, to not allow fires to burn, to not allow that underbrush to be burned out, and it builds up year after year and reaches the point where it becomes a conflagration. It
Yeah.
becomes a fire so massive that it cannot be put out. So hopefully there's a lesson learned here. Um, this has got more to do, I think, with bad practices than it does with environmental issues. And if the bad practices are corrected, then we can correct for environmental issues. But if we keep doing bad practices, we'll never get control of it.
Yeah, well, I think it's also valuable to just see what native people did in different parts of the world. I mean, the
Amen.
native the Native Americans, the Native Brazilians, and the Native Aborigines all like well understood fire and using it every year. So,
Sure, that's right. Yeah, rather than clear cut, they did clear burn, and
hmm
they would do a burn in the plant. Uh,
hmm
that's the way gardening started. It started by planting in burned over areas,
yeah,
which was just the highest level of nutrition. That's what we do in our fish tanks. We burn everything off.
yeah,
That's really what I'm doing in mine. I'm putting in the kind of products that are created in fires, the kind of products that are organic materials that are broken down, and put them in and allow them to be not in the water column, because that's a big mistake people make. They
hmm
put the dirt in and they put water in, and all of those nutrients are instantly in the water column, and so you got all kind of algae blooms, you got discolored water, you got all kinds of problems. But if you cap it with a couple of inches of sand, it prevents that from happening, and it also allows that deeper level to begin breaking down to become anaerobic. So there's so many battles we're fighting with this policy. The notion that somehow anaerobics are bad is a bad idea.
yeah. Well, for years they've been trying to sell us a sterile aquarium, and
Yeah,
it's not a
right.
sterile place. You want it to have as many different kinds of bacteria as it can stand.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, and
Monocultures are a big part of why we have fires on land too, when
right,
you get
right.
giant fields of grasses and things, corn, that'll burn easily. But I mean, in your aquarium, cyanobacteria, it's a monoculture, or any
Right.
big growth you're seeing or bloom is usually a monoculture. And so I tell people, like,
That
stop
really
putting,
is inevitable in a brand new tank.
yeah,
The trick is to let it go through the cycle and let that second culture begin to come up and compete with the first one. And before long, you've got all kinds of things competing with each other. And that's where you get a healthy tank.
yeah. Well, and I think too that, you know, a lot of people like to add quick solutions in a bottle rather than wait a week or two.
Yeah,
And
that's
a lot of problems, as long as your fish aren't sick and dying, are aesthetic. They're not really problems. It just people don't they want their fish tank to look like a postcard, and they don't
yeah.
always do that.
Well, that's really true. They really are. I think those two different approaches to fish keeping. One is the high aesthetic, um, the the um, the artistic the artistic structure that really focusing on a kind of a kind of a sterile beauty that 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 is sustainable somehow long term.
Right.
Except except it isn't. You know, in a few months it's over the hill, and as a result, people who do those kinds of tanks tend to break them down in 6 months to a year and do a new one because you can't maintain it.
It's interesting you say that because over on my channel we just had I threw an aquascaping contest for aquariums,
Yeah.
and a third of the points were for how it would grow into itself
Yes.
rather than just having a good picture for one day. A third of the points were how the plants would grow in, how hard maintenance would be, and how happy the fish would be, how the biodiversity, the cleanup team, all that kind of stuff factored in. So I'm big for pushing on realistic. I mean, I think it's cool to see what people can do when they push the limits in the hobby, but I also think there's a lot of value in incorporating like the Takashi Amano type aquarium with, Diane Wallstead's method, some
Yeah,
like a mix
exactly.
between the two.
Yeah, and I agree with it. And I really believe that there's a difference between a mono and the kind of high tech stuff that wins awards. I don't think they're the same thing. I think Amana was really doing a Wallstead kind of tank because
True.
he was creating systems that he was deliberately seeding nourishment into his tanks. Green Machine did the same thing.
Yeah.
They're using, in fact, he became wealthy, Amanu did, then
Yeah.
selling these products that he packaged that were supplements that he put in the bottom of the tank before even putting the substrates in. And
Yeah.
that's pure Wallstead.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to mention just while I had it here, if I could, is that what's her name? Crystal Castleman has a new book out. I don't know if you've seen this yet.
No, I have not.
So it's called let's see here. It's called
Plants.
Aquarium Plants. But
Nice.
let's see if I can open it and it's 1,000 species
Wow.
and it's all color photos,
Wow. With a lot of description.
a ton, and it's got pictures of everything being harvested in the wild, how it grows immersed and
Oh,
submerged,
wow.
pictures of it flowering, and then everything we know about the I mean, it's really the best book I've ever come across, and it just came out in Germany. But she just made this English version, and you can get it on her website. So I mean, I'm not making any money or anything off of it, but it's just a really great resource. So
Have you got our website?
um, I think if you Google it, if you just Google Crystal Castleman, you might find it. Because that's what I did. Is I just Googled it. Um, her name is spelled a little differently than in America typically, but Christel. So Crystal, and then Kassellmann, and it's called Aquarium Plants. She has an older version of the book that you can find on Amazon, but this one is literally twice as big, and it's all up to date. It's got all the interesting, pink panther, pink flamingo, all the interesting varietals
Wow.
of crypts and aquascaping plants. But the nice thing about it too is it has like all the aponogetons and crypts. It has them flowering so that you can really see the species rather than in the aquatic or the submerged form. You can't always tell some of them apart. So
Yeah, right. Nice. Yeah, I will be sure to get that. That's exciting.
yeah, it's pretty cool research. She's worked on it for 27 years, she said. So
Wow, I'll bet.
yeah.
I'll bet.
So
Let's see. I was just looking at some comments here in the chat. John Doe is here. John, you were going to come on yesterday and show us your cheap new tank you got, and I was looking for you and couldn't find you. Hey, you is here.
oh yeah, I'm looking through that now too.
Logan's is here. Logan's has platinum galactic tigers. God, that's a pretty fish.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites. I have the rainbow tiger endlers too. I love those ones.
Yeah. I've been talking to um, Andreas Ryan of Bioaquatics, who's nearby here. He does a number of different endlers about trying to get him on here. He's decided he's going to clean up his fish room so he can broadcast from there. And we're scheduled for next Friday, so we'll see if that actually comes off. He's a hard guy to pin down, but once you get him, it's pure gold. He'll just talk and talk and talk and talk, and it's just talks about things nobody else talks about. It's really remarkable.
Don't mind my hair this morning.
Psychedelic is saying, "Where is Chevy Fish?"
Yeah.
Oh dear, she got attacked like. I'm sure she's here. Chevy Fish is indomitable, with an indomitable spirit. She doesn't. She is not a wilting flower by any stretch. She's one tough broad. You just gotta you get to know her a little bit and you see it. So if she got chewed on last night, she probably left in disgust rather than in some kind of uh, snowflake attitude. She's not a snowflake, and I'm sure she's here. She's always hanging out, just helping out, being supportive, keeping keeping the channel clean, doing the best she can to be very helpful.
Well, you've got an incredible community here. Everybody's so positive and caring. It's remarkable. So that's really cool.
Yeah, it really is, isn't it? We started doing wrenches, and I realized I had to give them to everybody. There wasn't anybody more deserving than anybody else.
It's a good spot to be in.
Yeah, it's not. That was really the aegis of what I was saying earlier. That these are the best of times because what's happening here is just so wonderful and so great fun. It the my sense is it'll never be this good again. I mean, we'll keep getting better for a while, but at some point it'll it'll reach a point we'll have too many people. It'll be out of control. Something will happen that will begin. I hope a very very gradual downhill slide.
I've noticed that on my channel, it's hitting a point now where there's a lot of people, and because I'm able to work from home and spend now because of this a lot of time on the channel, it's okay for now, but I'm fearing that same moment. But the people who interact and who are the core of the channel are still around and reliably there and help each other out, which is the best part, is when you've got so many well-versed people all helping each other that
Yeah, exactly.
you don't have to answer every question in the chat because someone else has already helped that person, especially if it's beginner stuff that they need help with that you don't necessarily want to cover every episode.
Yeah, that's right. That's certainly happening here. Yeah, LRV has been able to handle it pretty well.
Yeah.
His traffic is so busy, he can't possibly keep up. Um, but he's still been able to maintain, if you follow the chat, he's still been able to maintain a real tight community of people who love him and thoroughly appreciate what he's doing and are doing their part to really make the chat something worthwhile.
Yeah, he's I love Lucas. He's a funny guy. He's a smart guy. It's just my wife would kill me if my house resembled anything like his 300 tanks or whatever.
That is remarkable, isn't it? I don't know
Yeah,
anybody who's done that. Just put tanks, fill every room with tanks.
yeah,
Have we
yeah,
seen his bathroom or his kitchen? I'm not sure. I'm not sure I've seen the bathroom in the kitchen. There may be some places that are off limits. Maybe the
yeah.
bedroom. I don't know.
I think he has a rainbow tank in there actually that he took to what's it called? Aquatic experience.
Experience, yeah.
Yeah, but I think you're right about the kitchen and the bathrooms.
So she has some control. Well, and
Yeah,
a lot of it's a big house.
yeah, yeah,
It's a big house with a lot of rooms and a lot of space, and that's really why he's been able to do it, because those rooms are dedicated rooms. I mean,
yeah,
they're dedicated fish tank rooms. It's not like
yeah,
one or two or six or eight or 10 tanks in a room. It's 30 or 40 tanks in a room, or 50
yeah.
tanks. You know, it's a fish room. It's not a living room with fish tanks. It's a it's a fish room with maybe a couch. I haven't even seen a couch. I haven't seen that. The fish rooms are fish rooms.
Yeah, yeah. I've been following his channel since pretty much since he started actually,
Huh.
because of Aquarium Co-op. I knew, and they met each other quickly. But I went to high school with Corey, who owns Aquarium Co-op. Like
Wow.
we grew up in the same town. We weren't really in the same circles, but
Huh.
know of each other obviously, and watched his store grow and everything. But Lucas and I. He's the first person in the States that I got blue shrimp from and yellow shrimp from. Uh, Before that, I could only find like cherry and things like that. And so in exchange, I've done all the art for his merchandise. So if you see any of his merchandise, that's all my artwork, like my day
Oh,
job
wow.
as an illustrator. So yeah,
Nice. Nice.
I just like how all the channels kind of tie together in a weird, like several degrees of separation. Everyone's got something to do with someone's channel.
Yeah, it's really true. We're getting a lot of that here now. Aquarium Conquest has done some just really remarkable stuff for us. Speaking of which, I ought to put. Let's see. Let's put his newest video up. It's got a lot of really nice stuff on it. So we'll do that. Take about a 5 minute break, and we
Sure.
will be back. Alex, you're welcome to hang on. Let me see if I can
Okay.
get to him and pull this up. There we go. Pardon?
I brought the rubbing alcohol.
Okay. We can take all the right.
I would like to introduce
Very nice. Here's Alex is showing us one of his tanks here.
It was an intermission.
Right, that's nice. Look at that. Looking at that video and seeing how many people have really beautiful plants, it makes me realize how much enjoyment all of the people who are plugged in here derive from their aquariums, because they're obviously just really, really beautiful, beautiful tanks.
Yeah. I was impressed by HC Aqua's crystals being so clean. Mine would be full of algae, probably.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it's true, isn't it? Thank you, One Dirty Platty, for the super sticker. Yeah, I've done that. I've got glass as well. I try to keep pieces of blue glass and green
Oh,
glass,
yeah.
big broken chunks, because there people are really like that, and it's kind of unique in a fish tank. It's not like a rock. It's sort of like hard water or something. Yeah, it's glass is funny in a tank. Mary
I had
Page.
a
Yeah, go ahead.
I had a fish bowl that was within a fish tank, within a square fish tank, and it was just a weird thing that I did for I had a screen on it to try to get Fry to get out of there from their parents but I left it in there, and people were just like, they would not stop talking about how bizarre it was. It like blew their minds to see a fishbowl within a fish tank. Like it was the subject until I took it out of there.
Funny stuff. Funny stuff.
But glass underwater, yeah, it's kind of interesting to watch a fish swim and then hit it, and then
Right. Let's see, where was that? Mary Page talking about Patrick's tank. Oh yeah, the crystals. And Mary saying she collected blue glass. A lot of people like blue glass. The blue bottles are a very desirable antique bottle.
yeah,
Warranty.
I live on the saltwater too, and
Oh,
up here we get the Japanese fishing net floats. They're like glass balls,
right,
and
right.
they still wash up. They used them until the 80s or so. Now they use plastic, but we still get some cool ones that wash up once in a while.
I've seen those. They're really nice.
Hmm.
Cynthia Potts is saying, I wish I could buy your mug, Father Fish, but the quarantine here is just 3 steps away from being like in a prison. I'm too far away, too. Cynthia's in the Philippines.
Oh,
Cynthia, I will send you a mug. Send me your address and I will send you a mug. Uh, put it on. My email is fatherfish@fatherfish.net. Put your address on there. I don't want any money. I'll do it. I'll do it myself as a gift to you. Please send me your address, Cynthia, and we'll see if we can't get a mug to you. That would be delightful to do. Cynthia was on yesterday for just a minute. She's been on a couple of times, very brief. I don't know if she's come on any other channels. Very sweet young woman. Teaches middle school, and of course now is doing online classes.
you know, I think it's important too that you can get kind of down or fatigued from all this, quarantine and shutdown stuff, but it's really revitalized the hobby in some cool ways.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
you, my local fish store couldn't even get neon tetras, and so back in February, I told people on my channel, we might not be getting any imports for a while, guys. So why don't we start breeding the common fish just in case? So I bred a
yep.
bunch of neon tetras, and people were paying $6 a piece for them, which in my head seemed insane, but at the same time, I mean, they're beautiful little fish. So uh, I just thought that was interesting, and I've seen a lot more shops up here that traditionally order from Seagrest or Imperial or whoever, buying from local again, which I think a lot of people have gotten away from.
Yeah, I really believe in that. I every chance I get, I buy local from local
That's
hobbyists.
that's
I do
awesome.
I do a lot of store credit
Yeah.
for the casual hobbyist, but for somebody who's trying to make a living at it, I'll pay cash. And
Wow.
I pay market price for whatever. I don't overpay. I don't pay more for it. I pay market price because I just feel like if they want to do this, they need to be able to hook into the market and make it work with regular market pressures rather than have somebody carry the ball for them. But
Totally.
but it's working and it's working well. Plus, I really can't afford to. I sell my fish pretty cheap. I don't have a big markup on them because I want to be able to move stuff out. But yeah, I have not bought an angel fish from a wholesaler since I've been in business. I get them
Wow.
all locally. I get them all from hobbyists, and I've got a couple of guys who they kind of specialize in angels. That's what they do. They've got their garage converted to a fish room, and they breed angels. And so I've
Yeah.
always had a lot of angels.
I think that's the way to do it. I mean, if you're trying to get money, like cash for your stuff, and you're not going to sell directly to hobbyists, some exotic fish, you really kind of need to production line specialize in whatever it may be, rams or apistos or angels or cories or something, plecos.
Yeah, and it's not like selling to a wholesaler. I mean, I talk to
No.
guys like Andres all the time, and he struggles with. He's a one man operation. For him to be able to raise cardinals and sell them to wholesalers, he's got to raise 100,000 to 1 million in a year.
Yeah.
There's an enormous amount of work involved in doing that. Selling to local shops like me and some other local shops and selling online, it's really been a boon for him because it's allowed him to have a reasonable work schedule and to be able to have the same money that he would have otherwise. The other problem for the farmer is trying to raise big numbers and sell to big wholesalers is that you're really kind of putting all your eggs in one basket. These guys can tell you one month they want 50,000 of something, and the next month, after you've raised it and grown them out, 3 months down the road, oh, our market has changed. We don't need that many now, and they do that kind of stuff routinely. It's
Yeah.
it really creates an intolerable situation for the farmer. So for the farmer to be able to ship out to shops and to ship out uh, to local retailers with some kind of local hobbyists with some kind of a decent minimum, has really opened the market up for those guys and made it possible for them to be able to survive doing what they're.
Uh-oh. Am I the only one up here? Pull up the chat. Oh, I'm sure he'll be back. Well, hi guys. I guess we'll wait for our Father Fish to return. I wonder if he knows. Okay, there we go.
I hit a button. I was moving the frame. There's a button right up in the corner, an X, and when I hit it, everything disappears. I've done that more than once. So fortunately, I've learned how to get back. Jughead Jones is here. Hello, hello. Can the cat be too thick? I don't know what he's talking about. Uh, Manure in the soil. I don't know what's going on there. And I'm not sure I can get back and pick it up. Let me go to the bottom. Misfit. Hello, Misfit. And Lee's convinced he's the only brilliant one. Well, so long as you stay brilliant, Lee, we'll be in good shape. It's when you lose that cutting edge that we're in trouble. Messing with buttons again. Got that right. Foxy's Fish. Talking to Jughead. Let's see.
Was he asking if the cap can be too thick on a
Yeah,
substrate?
I'm seeing CAT means CAP. Um, Probably where I don't know what have it float means. Um, can the cap be too thick? Yes and no. On a new tank, it can be too thick because on a new tank, if you're capping substrate, you want those roots to be able to reach down into the nutrition layer. As your tank ages and you add more sand, that cap can get pretty deep, and it will contain a lot of nutrition that will have precipitated down into it. So an older tank is fine. A newer tank, I would not do 3 inches if you need to. You want to make sure it's well capped. You don't want the substrate, the soil, coming up into the water column because it discolors everything and just makes a mess. But 2, 3 inches should be adequate. If you find there's a little dirt coming up, add a little more sand, particularly if you can find a low spot. But try not to get it more than about 3 inches until your tank is at least 6 months old. By then, you would have built up a nutrition layer. The stuff at the bottom is going to cook off. It'll begin becoming less, what's the word I want to use, abrasive, less caustic, because it can be really caustic. It can actually burn the roots, which is why I don't recommend in a brand new tank that you push the roots of the plants down all the way down into the soil. Push them halfway into the sand and let those roots find nutrition from there. They know how to do that. They do a good job of it, and they'll go down into it. Um, Once a tank is set up for a few months, the edge is off and it's a whole lot more stable. Um, and you don't need to worry about it so much.
I saw some discussion about manure, and I just wanted to throw out there, this is my opinion anyways, that manure is something you would not want to use. Compost and leaf material broken down is just fine, but I wouldn't use any sort of manure insinuates like cow poop or something that could have E. coli or fecal coliform bacteria, which is not what you want in a small tank. I mean, maybe in a huge pond, it's not a big deal, but I wouldn't ideally use that in a tank personally.
Yeah, raw sewage. I use black cow, but that's a sterile product.
Yeah, don't they cook that or
Yeah,
something to it?
it's
Yeah.
pasteurized. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's not a bacterial laden product, and it contains the benefits of manure. It's really a very thick, dense compost, uh, but
Yeah.
but well composted. I mean, a good compost does not have live bacteria of the type you're talking about in it. That all burns off from the heat.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
But yeah, I would not go out into the into the dairy farm and dig out a bucket of mud from the ditch, from the drainage ditch. Even though it's full of worms, it's going to be it'll be full of nematodes. That's where that's where red worms were initially harvested. When we had red worms, they were harvested on the drainage ditches of dairy farms.
Huh.
Uh, they don't do that anymore for the very reason you've described, because it brought so much disease into the systems that it really became its own worst enemy. The blackworms, I don't have a handle on. I know they're raised in ponds in California. That's about all I've been able to learn.
Yeah. I was curious
They're
about
not
that.
available. Pardon?
Oh, I was just curious about that because we've had a lot of issues locally with harmful nematodes within them. And so a lot of our local fish stores won't carry the big brands, or I don't know about big brands, but the farms out of California, they won't carry because there's just too many people coming back in complaining that, you know, they had wasting disease or some sort of parasite from a blackworm culture. So I don't know what causes that, or if that's even true, or if the people are experiencing something else. But that
Well,
seems
there
to be
are,
the
hookworm is a nematode. There are dangerous nematodes. And of course, that's what blackworms are. They're nematodes. They're not a dangerous one, but you know, they certainly can get a mixed culture. Um, and that's reasonable, and that may be why they're no longer available right now. They're claiming they're going to be off the market until November, and
oh
it may be that they've killed off the population and are reseeding it to try to get control of that issue. I really don't know. I know a number of farmers here in Florida have tried to raise them with no success at all. Um, but I haven't delved into it enough to learn why. It should be reasonable and it should be feasible to do. Why we're not able to do it here on the East Coast when they can do it on the West Coast in dirt ponds is beyond me. But I guess somebody will figure it out. Right now, there are no blackworms. They're just not available. So we're having to do other things like brine shrimp. Um, and nobody really is doing a lot with whiteworm culture,
mm-mm.
and that's a really good animal that's easy to culture, relatively easy. There are a couple of guys on YouTube that do fabulous whiteworm culture. That's really very rich, and it's a great food.
Yeah,
So,
it's what I feed my smallest stuff usually. That or vinegar eels.
well, I'm not talking about microworm. I'm talking about the bigger, the like
Oh,
1 inch white worms. The big,
oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I saw a video not long ago. Somebody doing white worm here on YouTube. That was they were growing out a pound a week. I mean, it was
Wow.
amazing how much worm they were producing.
Wow. I'll have to look that up. Yeah.
Let's see. Get back to the bottom here. ODP, one dirty platy. Didn't know what that referred to. Um, GRB is saying I have millions of blackworms living naturally in the substrate of my green water tank. Yeah,
Good place
absolutely.
to good place to put baby fish then.
Yeah, really, really.
Green water and worms.
Now blackworms will get big. They'll get up to 6 inches long. You can find them wild in creeks and streams, and at that size, they breed sexually. Um, when they're small, if you buy little ones, um, you can cut them in half, and each half will live. So if you keep them clean, keep them refrigerated, you can double the volume. The trick is it's really hard to feed them. I've had the same experience in fish tanks. I've tried to keep them alive in quantity, and I've not been successful doing it. A couple of times I've gotten in like 10 pounds of them, and have lost them virtually overnight. It's just a process that I haven't learned how to deal with yet. I know it's important to rinse them immediately in fresh water to get whatever waste is in the water and in the worm expelled, and then rinse them again the next day. That seems to keep them going better if you do daily rinse and keep them refrigerated. But of course, all you're really doing is maintaining. You're not sustaining. You're not keeping a population going. You're just keeping them alive short term. I've had customers keep them as long as a month that way, but in small quantities in their refrigerator.
I just have them usually living in my substrate for my Corydoras. They love them.
Oh, yeah, you bet. Oh, Psychedelic Hippocampus posted a link to the book,
Oh,
uh,
great.
to Crystal's book. Where are we at? 9:25. You know what I wanted to do? I wanted to play um, two songs. Let's see. If I can find them, I got to go back.
Are we going to hear Lee?
We'll hear Lee at the end.
All right.
What I want to do is I want to play Cassie B
Oh, yeah.
and Roxanne.
I watched Roxanne's live stream yesterday. It was nice.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Glad she's doing that. That's great. There's Lee. Let me get down here a little bit. I think I've got them back to back. Oh,
It's finally raining out here. We've had smoke really thick, like in the hazardous for all humans category.
I heard. Yeah.
And it's finally it poured rain last night. And it's still raining this morning, and the air is it's nice.
I'm having trouble.
Of course, I'm ruining that. So.
I'm having trouble getting the stream up here, or getting the
Do you
list.
do you need me to hop off?
No, that's not the issue. I'm trying to get the playlist to come up, and it keeps wanting to play Lee's piece, and then does not bring up the playlist.
I was
Okay.
gonna. Oh,
I
you
got
got it. All right.
Yeah, I got it.
I found my way. I found my way to Father Fish. He comes on in the morning every day. Add some soil, cap it with sand, then add plants. He will help you do it the right way. Add some fish, then walk away. Feed them high quality food. Thy food is best. Keep it dirted. Keep it all natural. I found my way back to Father Fish. Bye, y'all.
Thank you, dear.
When I find myself in times of trouble, Father Fish, he comforts me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my time of darkness, he is streaming right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be. As I'm
When all the broken-hearted fishes living in the tank agree, there is an answer, let it be. For though it may be cloudy, there is still a chance that they can see. There is an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be. Add some sand and let it be. There is an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be. Add some sand and let it be. For there's words of wisdom, let it be.
Lovely.
Bravo.
Yeah, Roxanne trained as an operatic singer. She has a
Oh.
professionally trained voice. Has been through a lot of physical problems, much as you have, Alex, and really lost the ability to be able to to function professionally, but obviously retained her beautiful, beautiful voice.
Yeah.
Stephen, nice to see you. Stephen is here. Stephen, can you come up? Can you join us? We'd love to have you. We tried this once before and we couldn't get the equipment working right. So maybe that, yeah, maybe we can do it. We'll see.
Oh, the other thing I saw in the chat was people talking about rusty nails in the substrate as a source of iron. Is that we talked about that last time actually, or a few
Yeah, we
shows
did.
ago. But I think we decided that that was a plausible thing to do, but maybe not the best thing if you forgot where you put them.
Yeah, not really practical, I think. It's kind of a gimmick, really, because
Yeah,
it's two of the
take
easier things you can do.
and it'll take probably a year before it's that helpful.
Oh, at least, yeah, at least. You probably everybody has experienced putting something in the tank that rusts or corrodes. There are always those little ornaments that you really like and think will be wonderful, and 6 months later you look at it and it's got corrosion around the screw or a
Yeah,
base or something. Um, and of course, that's getting in the water column. It's rarely toxic. It's rarely a problem. I know there was a comment earlier, somebody asking about what crystals are safe in a water column or in a
all.
tank. And basically anything that does not dissolve.
Yeah, anything but salt or calcium
Yeah.
or
Uh,
sulfur.
there are a lot of crystals, but there are also uh, crystalline structures that, like diodes, like stuff you find in nature that are perfectly safe.
Yeah. I mean, I think anything with a hardness over like 4 or 5 on the Mohs scale should for sure be safe. Like probably not going to dissolve.
Right,
Like
right.
if you know geology at all, I mean, that might be helpful. That's usually if it will right below scratching a glass. That's how hard.
No, all right,
So if your crystal will scratch glass, it's almost assured that it's not going to dissolve.
right. There you go. So you can pull all your diamonds in, and they'll
Yeah,
be perfectly safe, albeit maybe invisible.
your bettas might eat them.
That would
You
be
know,
cute, wouldn't it?
you
Rose
know,
aquarium is here. Hi, Rose. Is that real? What are you saying? I thought you were gonna. Oh, how's Rhett doing? Mary Page is asking Ro. Rhett's been really struggling with his arm lately for the last month or two. Going
know
back.
what I was?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say. Speaking of bettas, while I was thinking of bettas attacking a crystal because they could see themselves in it. Um, I
Oh,
taught I taught my bettas in one of my tanks. I put them in with pea puffers, which I know is a weird decision. I did it very carefully watching, but they survived and none of them fought, which was good. It was a sorority of bettas and some pea puffers, 5 pea puffers in a 20 long, a sorority of bettas, and some random tetras were in there, and some cories. And but I taught them to eat ram's horn snails while they're young and soft. And when they saw the bettas would eat them. Yeah, I have a video on it, but
huh.
they saw the pea puffers doing it, and so the bettas would actually go down, wait for the pea puffer to bite it once, and then the bettas would steal it
Right.
and eat it.
Huh.
So
Slick.
yeah,
Yeah, I usually squash pond snails in the
yeah,
because the fish love them.
yeah. I hate those things.
Oh, I do too. Psychedelic saying I love bling in my tanks. Leah's inviting Stephen to come on tomorrow. That would be great. I hope you can do that, Stephen. What else? Just going back here. Color Guppies is here. Good morning, Color Guppies. I had somebody else I'd love to get up here to chat with.
Yeah,
Just a,
get
a
someone else
really,
up here.
yeah. Well, yeah. See if you can come up, Color Guppies. We still got 15, 20 minutes. We got plenty of time. Let me post again. Repage. Stephen saying he's in his office at the moment. His lab techs and workers are in and out, but he's off tomorrow and love to try again. So we'll see. Yeah, that'd be great, Stephen. Hopefully we can do that. Dank Tanks is here. Hello, Dank Tanks.
Hey,
Nice to see you. Holly Gibbs, did someone mention bling? Holly's got some beautiful tanks. I really appreciated all the pictures you sent in um, that were incorporated in that last video. Really pretty stuff.
oh yeah, those were nice tanks. All those tanks were nice.
Holly Gibbs, I went up this morning to feed my outdoor tubs of guppies, and I have an apple tree by one of them. An apple had fallen and it was covered with pond snails. There he is, Thomas.
Hello.
How are you?
Can I bring the chair over?
Yeah, please do. We have a guest. Let's see. I don't know if I can do this. I
We're gonna use
think
2 cameras at once.
we're going to try to use 2 cameras at once. This is, where is he? Right there. This is
Hello.
Thomas. Thomas is our newest employee at Father Fish. He has a degree in marine science and wants to be able to put it to use working with people
Yeah.
and feel like this is a good venue for doing that. This is Alex. Alex has
Hello.
hundreds of fish tanks. Talk a little about yourself
Hi,
while
I'm
I
Thomas.
try to while I try to get another camera up. Go ahead.
I have an 8-week-old baby. His name is Daniel. That's been most of my life recently. That, and I have 3 turtles now. And I've been having a lot of fun with them. Turtles, I feel like, are the opposite of us because every time I fix the aquarium, turtles go and do the opposite. They'll dig up all the plants, completely fill the tank with sediment, and they're always fun, so they keep me busy. And I built a special sump system for them so I can have all the plants underneath and they won't be affected by the turtles. And it's kind of nice because then I can have all the water flowing through that and it'll keep itself clean. And I haven't done a water change in probably 3 months, and that's the first time I've been able to do that with a turtle. So,
Wow.
yeah.
That's cool.
We missed the very first thing you said.
Oh, about the baby?
Yeah.
I've got an 8-week-old baby named Daniel. He's been most of my life. I hope I can get. Is there any way if I send you a picture, you can put it up on there?
Yeah. Well,
what would be the best way to do that?
I would put it in
Just
front of
show
the
it. All
camera.
right.
Yeah.
That's not a problem. He's a little too smart for his own good. My
At
baby,
8
that
weeks.
is. Yeah. So when I go to put his diaper on, he'll lift his butt up in anticipation of the diaper. He's only 8 weeks old. He's got this little seahorse that lights up. It's named Lucky, and I just turn that on and put him with it. So it adds to the lighting, but he enjoys it.
Funny stuff.
Yeah. I can't wait till he starts asking for a fish tank.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Now, Stephen is talking about blabber snails.
Blabber snails?
Blabber, yeah, BLABBER, blabber snails. Oh,
What kind of snails are blabber snails?
Well, there are bladder snails, BLADDER. That's the little pond snail.
The little black ones?
The little soft one. Now they're brown usually. They're very soft shell. You can pop them and squeeze them. I'm teasing Stephen because he did a typo here, and it takes us back to an earlier error he made that had me going in circles. And if I think about it, I'll remember what it was. I'm sure he'll never forget. He wants to know more. What did he say his degree was in? I'm typing and have an assistant talking to me at the same time. So what's your degree in?
So my degree is in marine biology, but it's kind of funny because when I started going to school, I thought I was going to end up going to school for drones. I did that for like a semester. Didn't really enjoy it. And then I started going into like marine robotics. And then from there, I realized I like to fish more than the robots and continued down that path. So I've done a lot of tinkering, and that's a large portion of the hobby that I enjoy is being able to like build the aquarium stuff and working on automating my whole setup right now, using cameras to track the fish and everything.
So we got
what school did you go to?
Yeah, we got a
USS in
techie bug.
Sarasota.
When I live all the way.
It's in Michigan.
I live all the way up in Seattle, but I came down to Florida and saw the Aquatic Research Center, or Aquaculture Research Center there in Brandon. Pretty cool.
They got a lot of stuff there, and that's kind of nice. But I tried volunteering there and working there a while, but it's hard to actually get in and do anything. I feel like that's productive other than kind of get grant money for them. So.
Well, and the interesting thing is that Florida's set up so that the fish farmers and fish industry or Seagrest or whoever can come in and say, we need help raising this. And so all their attention goes towards helping the financial engine of the aquaculture industry rather than the things that the students or professors want to study.
Well, and it's
so
not like I feel like that's kind of in Florida how it goes with a lot of these big aquariums.
Yeah.
It, like they're doing a lot for the animals, they really are. But I wonder if it's their main goal sometimes. That's all I'm gonna say there.
Totally. I didn't.
I'm sorry. I worked at Moat for a couple of years back in the 90s. Before it was Moat. When it was Eugenie Clark's, still Eugenie Clark's offspring. Eugenie Clark started it down in Boca, 40 years ago, as Shark research facility, and it then moved up to Sarasota, where they were able to get better facilities. And she taught at the University of Maryland, taught marine biology. I took my daughter when my daughter was 10 years old, took her to visit Eugenie Clark. She and I served together on the board of the National Aquarium for a couple of years, so I got to know her a little bit. She passed on a few years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, but she maintained a very strong relationship with students all through her life, and really was she spent a lot of time with students and gave them a lot of opportunity to get involved in research projects. It's a really remarkable woman. It became moot when Mr. Moat donated several millions of dollars to the facility, and they changed it to his name, and it's been called Moat since then.
That's usually how it works, isn't it?
Yeah, that's how it works. Right? He made his money on a device he invented that lifted railroad cars back onto the track. It was a special kind of jack, and he made millions of dollars on that jack, and then was able to put. He really did a lot of good though with it. He put many millions of dollars into Moat and developed a number of pretty key facilities that have broadened to become commercially viable.
Well, and Moat does a lot of really cool stuff too. I mean, they have a stable moon jellyfish population. They have a stable octopus population. They have lots of large sharks in captivity that not a lot of other places can do. And a lot of that is they have an open water system for one, because they're on the Gulf. They can actually pull water directly from there, so they don't have to worry about keeping the water correct or anything, because the fish they keep naturally exist out in that water anyways. So it works out pretty well for them because of their location.
Nice.
I saw that at the Aquaculture Research Center they figured out how to breed firefish when I was down there last in the lab, which I thought was pretty cool.
Huh.
The hardest part, they said, was getting the mix of the Pacific Ocean to get the right microscopic organisms. So they actually overnight flew a bunch of samples or cultures of the water to get the right biodiversity for the little fry for the larva stage.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's really the key with a lot of these fish. What they've taken to do is a lot of the pelagic fish, like yellow tangs and blue tangs, spawn in open water and the eggs float to the surface. Well, the top couple of inches of open water are the richest culture, and that's where the babies are able to find food and survive and grow until they're then able to swim down out of that into deeper or other water. So being able to replicate that has been key to learning how to raise these fish. It's a pretty complicated process.
I think it'd be really interesting to see if we could get some sort of crowdsourced project set up where all around the world the water was sampled continuously and uploaded to a network, and then you could actually match your aquariums to that, because throughout the year water is going to change, and that might be something fish need too. And most of us are trying to keep our tanks pretty natural, so that might be another step in that direction. But
there's some freshwater projects like that out of the Amazon and out of Africa and Southeast Asia, I know, where they sample the water at least 4 times a year, not all the time like you're saying, but I mean, they'll sample it during the wet season, during the start of it, the peak of it, and or during a spawn of some species, and record that. But I don't know to what degree they analyze like all the microscopic organisms that are there and stuff.
Exactly,
So
yeah. I think that's why you'd have to crowdsource something like that. Is just because it's
yeah,
so much data you're going through that even a supercomputer, the amount of time it takes to code that biological data into digital data, you still have to tell everything. You'd have to convince a camera that that's a diatom, that's a critter, that's a different type of critter. It'd be easier just to have people pick through it and literally
yeah.
circle things and file it all through, but you'd basically need the whole globe to do it.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a channel of your own?
I do. I don't have any videos on it. Sometimes I live stream my tank, but everyone
Oh,
tells
okay.
me to start one.
You should.
He will, I'm
I
sure.
guess no. I have a camera that I waterproof, and I have a GoPro that I just put in my fish tank sometimes, and I'd like to set that up as a live stream. The problem is transmitting wirelessly through water is extremely difficult. And even
Yep.
a half-submerged GoPro doesn't really like to transmit with Bluetooth, so I'm working on that.
5G, baby.
That's
Yeah,
not a bad
really.
idea.
Really.
It'll work.
I have a Samsung phone. I have the 5G phone. I don't pay for 5G. The first day I bought it, I cracked it, dropped it on the floor, and broke it. So
Wow.
it's not waterproof anymore. Otherwise, I'd try it. So
Stephen is saying we've got several programs like that here at our lab to monitor fish behavior and movement, but it's limited because researchers are limited out in the field areas.
I think that's always a problem because getting like the amount of data gathering equipment out to the places you need it's just extremely difficult in some locations, and we need leaps and bounds in that direction too. There's a possibility you could make a device that could sample the water, but I wouldn't know how to build it. You'd have to find a way to either have it analyze fluid using like drops and then have a camera read the color, but then you'd have to come up with a solution on how to actually run the whole thing and transition it into the tubes, clean the tubes afterwards. And that's problematic as it is. So I think we got bigger things to worry about in scientific fields at the moment.
Well, yeah, the gas, what is it? Gas chronometer, mass spectrometry.
Yeah.
Those are pretty expensive.
Yeah.
But they do. There is a new technique though that's allowing them to sample DNA of like an entire body of water, and then later they can sequence every DNA type that's there, whether there's skin cells from humans or there's skin cells from fish scales or microorganisms or bacteria. That they've got an algorithm now that at least can do it to a certain level. I was just reading an article. It was just published in I think it's Nature, the journal of Nature.
So how do you collect that data though? Like how is it input into the computer? Like the device that actually collects it, how does that work?
So they process it like regular DNA, so it does take a lab, but then they just literally feed in genomes, like entire genomes that used to take years to sequence. Now we have quick enough computers that any genome that they've sequenced already, it can detect basically and
like
reassemble.
For DNA.
It looks for the differences, since there's so many similarities in DNA, like a mouse and a human are like whatever 90% similar. Yeah. So it looks for those genes that are unique to certain species, and tries to do it quickly through that. So
I've always heard that we're like 60% similar to everything on planet Earth, and what my dad always told me is if you take horseshoe crabs out of that, it's 80% similar. And I don't know the validity of that, but I've always thought it was kind of interesting because they are pretty weird.
They are weird, yeah. Their blood is used for something medicinally, right?
Well, it's copper based, isn't it? And that's why they're just interested in it for research because it's got I don't think our diseases could exist in a copper based blood.
Well, that's the issue, right?
Yeah, I think that's the why they're interested in it. A lot of it's like some octopuses. I think most octopuses actually have purple blood. There's a lot of worms that have purple blood too, and it's just different amounts of different elements. And you can use copper to carry oxygen almost as efficiently as iron. Anything that'll oxidize will work. It's just going to change the color of the blood. And certain characteristics are more beneficial for certain scenarios. Like I'm not sure why segmented worms blood is green, but whatever they use turns green, and they like it because it's easier to produce. So you can have one segment that can function to produce blood and lots of other things, whereas like red blood cells, you need a very complex like factory to produce them.
Stephen is saying we take samples from 26 bodies of water a year, but there are other projects on the high-end list being funded, and anything funded by a bill is top priority.
Is there anywhere that stuff's posted regularly and you can like?
Stephen, are these? How are these? How is this data posted, Stephen?
Because I'd love to be able to find all the different versions of that and put it together in like a website where you could view as many of the different places in the world that are already doing it.
Ro's here. Hi, Ro.
Hey,
How are you?
pretty good. I wanted to tell Thomas hi and that I'd be seeing him soon.
Yes. Yeah, we're gonna get we'll get Lee's tune up here in a minute or two. I think we've lost. I don't know what happened to Alex.
There he is.
Sorry,
Again, there he is.
I went
Coming
into
in
the.
light.
It's still dark in Seattle, so.
Oh, okay. The sun's
But
not up yet.
No, but I am gonna hop off here. Thank you for having me.
Nice to
Thank
see
you,
you.
everybody. Good to see you. Nice to meet you. And I'll talk to folks later. Bye, Lou.
Take care, Alex. Thank you. Thanks
Yes,
for coming
thank
up.
you.
Let's see. I want to get Lee up here. See if we can do this. We're kind of running. So are you following? Are you following Ro?
No, not today. I've got a late live stream tonight at I do from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. So
Okay,
I'm
see
not
if we-
following you. You can go over. You're welcome to go over. So
Well, I think I got to get some stuff done today. Mainly, I got to make some money today.
that's it.
I have gone over. I need to make money today.
If they're asking about my live stream, I usually do it at twitch.tv/caveman.
Oh, you're at Twitch?
Yeah,
Okay.
Twitch.
Okay.
I'll post it in the chat for you guys. I don't think I have it up today, but I can actually turn it on.
Let's see.
Hello, Mary. Mary, try and sort this one out.
Let's get him up here.
Let's talk about fish, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about fish. Let's talk about fish, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that can be. Let's talk about fish. Fish. Let's talk about fish. Let's talk about fish. Instrumental break.
Yeah, federal lab.
Honestly, I don't know why haven't they made a map like water samples and then tell you how much electricity?
Probably nobody's studying it now because they're too cheap. I guess. We'll have to do it.
Let's talk about fish, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about fish. Let's talk about fish.
Bye, all.
Fish. Fish. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about fish. Let's talk about fish. Fish.
Thanks for coming up, Ro.
No problem.
Good to have you here. You looking
You too.
good today. You feeling
Thanks.
good?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I was going to try to talk to you and tell you that I'll be heading down there here soon and start working. So I need to give you a call. So I'll probably call you. When would be a good time to call?
Well, do by all means.
What
Look
time should I
forward.
call you?
It doesn't matter.
Okay. All right. I'll give you a call.
As long as you get me to answer the phone.
All right, I got you.
All right. Thank you, guys. God bless you all. Good to
Thank
speak to
you.
you.
You too,
And
Father. Pete.
see everybody in the morning. Bye for now.
See you. Bye.